back. It's News Talk for this half hour. Mark Vivacqua joins us, the superintendent for Herkimer-BOCES. And of course, the big topic of the day, the month, the year is funding for education. Thank you so much for coming in. Before we even get into the reason why you're here on the News Talk set is you helped coordinate that tour today for the Alliance for Quality Education. So what were you hoping to get out of that? Well,
we need legal remedies to the subject of underfunding schools. And so AQE and the New Jersey Law Center, was doing this investigation to find out whether they should also, sue the state. The small cities will have a lawsuit coming up pretty soon. Mike Rebell, who won the CFE case, also is suing the state, and I think the New Jersey Law Center with AQE will be next. So unfortunately, again, there needs to be legal remedies.
What do you think about the governor coming out and saying, hey, New York spends the most on education, but we're not necessarily the top as far as performance goes? One, should there be a correlation? And two, what do you think about him coming out and saying that we're not spending our money properly?
Well, there absolutely should be a correlation. The problem is New York State spends the most on everything. Some of the reasons we spend the most on education are mandates that we've asked over and over again. Schools aren't just asking for more money. We realize there's not a bottomless pit of money. Also on the expenditure side, we have over and over again asked for changes to the rules. And in fact, when the tax cap was enacted, it was with the promise of mandate relief. Mandate relief never came. And the thing about New York State, and I love New York, wouldn't live anyplace else, but they don't want to change the rules. And they don't want to fund the rules they have in place.
So it's not as black and white as it is.
Absolutely not. And also, New York State is doing great in terms of education. The idea that we're poor performers, when you look at the real data, that's a ridiculous claim.
You have this education rally a week from tomorrow. It's happening at Herkimer College. And I guess what I want to know is, who should go to this? I mean, we're constantly talking about the parents and the students and the teachers, but should everyone go to this?
Absolutely, because this isn't just an issue for parents of students that have kids in school. The main issue we're going to be talking about, and Rick Timms, the executive director of Statewide School Finance Consortium, is going to be doing an educational piece explaining the gap elimination adjustment and why we're saying our schools are underfunded. And that's a message for everyone, because there's huge economic impact. This gap elimination adjustment that was enacted, in 09-10, that was supposed to be temporary, is still happening. The last 4 years, our small 10 schools in the Herkimer-BOCES have lost $43.7 million. The governor's proposed budget for next year takes another $4.4 million. That's $51 million, not only of lost opportunity for kids, but there's an economic impact to that. And so everybody should be interested in this, not just parents with students in school.
We posed this question to Assemblyman Brindisi last week when he held an education rally in downtown Utica. If everyone at this rally is on the same page and fighting with the same voice, what's the purpose of the rally? Whose ear are you trying to get, and are they listening?
Much of this is actually to make sure people understand the issue. Because they get a lot of conflicting information, as you started out saying.
Right.
The governor says he's throwing all this money at education. These are for new initiatives. It's hard to argue against pre-K. He wants to fund universal pre-K.
But what about stuff that's been on the books for years?
He's not funding, we always want to do more, but we don't fund, what we're already doing. And so it's tough to fight against pre-K. This year we're forced to fight against pre-K.
Okay, so let's get educated at this education rally. That's the whole purpose. Happening on the 6th. 6:30 at Herkimer College's College Center, basically the main building, you can't miss it, and it's called Fight for Our Valley Schools. But again, just because you might live in any district, you can still go to this. If you want to get educated on education, this is the place to do it. Mark, thank you so much for coming in. Mark Vivacqua here with the Herkimer-BOCES.